Abuse in any form, whether verbal, mental, physical, or emotional, can leave a deep, lasting scar on individuals. It extends far beyond the immediate harm, often affecting a person's physical, emotional, and psychological well-being for years, sometimes even a lifetime. Healing from abuse is a deeply personal process, and the timeline varies widely from person to person. Long-term effects of abuse: emotional and psychological damage, anxiety and depression. Survivors of abuse frequently develop anxiety, panic disorders, or depression. They may struggle with low self-esteem, feel worthless, and experience intense doubts or sadness or helplessness. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Many survivors develop PTSD, which may include flashback, nightmares, and severe emotional distress when reminded of the abuse. The trauma may make it difficult to feel safe or even long after the abuse situation has ended. Trust issues. Abuse can erode the ability to trust others. Survivors may struggle to form healthy relationships or may have a fear of intimacy due to betrayal or manipulation in their past. Emotional numbness. Some survivors disconnect emotionally as a way to cope with overwhelming feelings. This numbness can make it difficult to experience joy, love, or even positive emotions. Guilt and shame. Victims often feel responsible for the abuse, carrying a heavy burden of guilt and shame, especially if the abuser made them feel like it was their fault. Long-term effects of abuse. Physical health consequences. Chronic pain and health issues. Prolonged abuse, especially physical abuse, can result in chronic pain, migraines, gastrointestinal issues, and other stress-related illnesses. The body's stress response may remain active, leading to long-term health complications. Sleep disturbance. Abuse survivors often experience a difficulty sleeping, whether through nightmares, insomnia, and anxiety that keeps them awake. Substance abuse. Some survivors turn to alcohol or drugs as a coping mechanism to numb their pain, which can lead to addiction or further health complications. Long-term effect of abuse. Social and behavioral impact. Isolation. Survivors may become isolated due to shame, fear of judgment, or mistrust of others. They may withdraw from social interactions or avoid situations where they might encounter triggers. Difficulty in relationships. Abuse can affect the way survivors relate to others, making it difficult to form healthy, trusting relationships. Some may find themselves in a cycle of abuse relationships as they may not recognize what healthy love looks like. Hypervigilance. Many survivors are always on guard, expecting harm or danger. This constant state of alertness can be exhausting and affect their ability to relax or feel safe. How long does it take to heal? The timeline for healing from abuse is highly individual. There is no set period, as recovery depends on numerous factors, including the type of duration of abuse, the survivor's support network, their coping mechanism, and their willing to seek help. Immediate recovery. In the days or weeks following abuse, survivors may feel a flood of emotions such as anger, confusion, relief, or numbness. This period often involves processing the reality of what happened and beginning to recognize its effects. Short-term healing, months to a few years. During this time, many survivors seek therapy, counseling, or join support groups. They may begin to regain their sense of self, build healthy boundaries, and work on coping strategies. Professional guidance can help survivors address specific symptoms such as anxiety, depression, or PTSD. Some may see improvements in self-esteem and start to reclaim their parts of life that were overshadowed by the abuse through emotional triggers and setbacks may still occur. Long-term healing, several years or more. Healing is a journey, not a destination. For many survivors, certain scars may never fully disappear, but they learn how to live and manage their emotional impact of the trauma. True healing involves not just overcoming the trauma, but building a new, healthier life. This includes forming new positive relationships, achieving personal goals, and redefining one's sense of purpose and identity. Healing can sometimes be a lifelong process, especially for those who experience prolonged or severe abuse. But survivors can grow and thrive with the right tools and support. Factors that influence healing time. Type of duration of abuse. Long or more severe abuse often results in deeper traumas, making the recovery process longer. Mental and emotional abuse, though less visible, can leave profound and lasting scars. Support system. Having a strong, compassionate support system can greatly influence the healing process. Friends, family, support groups, and therapists can provide the emotional, social, and practical support needed to rebuild one's life. Therapeutic interventions. Access to therapy, counseling, or other mental health resources can significantly aid in healing. Cognitive behavior therapy, trauma-informed therapy, and EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, are just a few examples of therapeutic modalities that can help. Personal resilience and coping mechanism. Survivors with strong internal resilience and positive coping mechanisms such as journaling, meditation, and mindfulness may recover more quickly than those who struggle with harmful coping mechanisms like substance abuse or avoidance. The power of healing. While the effects of abuse are profound, healing is always possible. It takes time, patience, and sometimes professional help, but the journey is worth it. Survivors can reclaim their lives, rebuild their sense of self, and ultimately emerge stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. The important thing is to take the first step and continue moving forward. Even on the toughest days, you are worth it.